All right, everybody, how you doing? This is the Groovy Loop Production Podcast. Yep, you see me in my glasses, and I'm just getting this thing started. That's right, man, and I am proud that it is up and running. One thing I got to really stay laser focused on is looking into the camera. I hope you guys can see me. Did a lot of rearranging in here with my lights, and I finally got the lights going. But I want to thank each and every one of you. First and foremost, I want to reach out to everybody who gave me mad support. Wondering when I was going to get this podcast going. I want to say this, though. Most people were reaching out, telling me that, hey, you need to start one. You need to start a podcast. And I was like, man, what the hell are you talking about? I don't need to do a damn podcast. Nah, man, you'll be great at it. So for all those who reached out and said, hey, you should start a podcast, I'm doing it. Thank you for the moral support. My topics are going to be uplifting. My topics are going to be straight to the point. My topics are going to be positive. When I started this podcast, I decided to figure out how I wanted to do it. I didn't want it to be raunchy. I want to be able to motivate people out there. I want to be able to let people know or really get to know the real me. First and foremost, I also want to thank everybody who bought my book. I did have a book out there, and it's still out there. It's on Amazon. It's From a Have Not to a Have Got, and I'm proud of it. As you can see, it's right there, being sold. I'm really blessed that I was able to get that book out. The book was something that I wanted to, I'll just say this, man. We're only on this earth for a short period of time, and I decided that I wanted to do something that, I could leave behind, that everybody could really know the real me, who I am. And once again, I want to thank so many people who purchased the book. I am definitely going to be doing a kind of like a tribute to all those individuals who purchased my book, which was a lot of you, a lot of family, a lot of friends who, some of my family, I didn't even know I had actually purchased the book. So it's a really good read. I often read it myself. I read it a lot. So, yeah, it's a really good read, and it made me think deep, dig deeper into my life. Some of the things that I never ever wanted to unearth again to share with people, I thought was very therapeutic for me to do that. And I really got a lot out of it. I tell you right now, I logged a lot of Kleenex tissue boxes, and I still do. Even just talking to you guys right now, I'm getting a little emotional. Why I actually wrote the book. The book was very therapeutic for me. I've even had a lot of my friends reach out, even telling me which were their favorite chapter, or they'll send me a picture of the chapter, as we go through it. I've even had people that I've spoken to who've read the book. We can have a decent, straight up conversation about the book itself, and we can just sit down and have a heart to heart, which I think is amazing. But I did want to talk a little bit about, the New Year's resolutions, the things that we all should be laser focused on doing. Just a minute, everybody. Okay, I'm back. As soon as I want to start doing something productive, things happen. So, yeah, I'm back and wanted to really touch bases on the book, also why I wrote the book. Also, want to communicate to all those people out there that whoever purchased the book, I know a lot of you did, a lot of my family, a lot of my friends did. And I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart. From a have not to a have got was very inspiring to me. And just before I get into the book, I definitely want to let people know about my military career. There's been lots of people that have asked me, why did I? Microphone falling, everything. They wanted to know why I wrote the book. Hey, that things happen like that. I don't know. Maybe it could have been the devil trying to knock my microphone off. Man, there have been so many ways I've been trying to get this podcast going, and things just weren't happening. My lights weren't working. Things just like this would randomly fall off. The reason why I just shut this podcast off, because as I was starting the podcast, my Roomba vacuum just started. And I'll be honest with you, I never even put a timer on that thing. So why did it just randomly start right when I am in here trying to do something positive and productive, man? And that's just how life is. I'm sorry, man. I'm just gonna be transparent about a lot of stuff. We all have those days, man. And I know when I used to be on the flight deck, when I was at VA 136, being up there as an ordnanceman, things would happen, and you would see your fellow ordnancemen have a problem, and you would have a problem, and they would see you on different days where their days are going good and your days are having bad, and they're like, "Oh man, you're having a black night day, huh, Alvin?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm having a freaking black night day." But hey, look, guys, no matter what goes on in your life, just keep a positive outlook about it. One thing I also got to continue to do, which I am going to continue trying to do, is look in this damn camera so that you guys can really see me for who I am and understand that I'm trying to do this from a positive perspective. This is like the very first one I'm putting out there. So I do want to talk about important stuff. I did talk about the 60 ways to make life simple again. We have to make life simple again, everyone. I mean, just recently, what happened in the New Year's, which really is near and dear to my heart, on what happened to those people down in New Orleans. And I've been down there. I've been down there 10 years after Hurricane Katrina, and they were still actually recovering from that time. But just recently on New Year's Eve, what happened is undescribable. I mean, it's unacceptable. Looking at a lot of the press conferences out there, I saw just the heartfelt anguish in people's hearts as they were trying to explain, that their city's safe again, and that, how could this tragedy happen? I want to say, being that I am a retired military guy, there's one thing I always used to say: keep your head on a swivel. Please make sure you keep your head on a swivel when you're out there with your family, your friends, and your loved ones, because you never know when something like this could happen again. And also, you never know when tomorrow's promised. So always thank God. Always thank you. Thank him for waking you up each and every day. So I want to get into a couple more things. We'll talk more about a lot more positive stuff. But again, my hearts and prayers goes out to those people out in New Orleans. Also, 60 ways to make life simple again. I really think as we start our New Year's resolutions, some of these 60 ways I am guilty of. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm guilty of them as well. Communicating. You have to communicate. I mean, there's sometimes don't feel like talking. I get that. I do. I'm a witness to that. But you got to communicate. You got to be able to communicate. If you're in a couple, if you're in a relationship with someone, a significant other, be open to communication. Be able to receive it and also be able to give it. The second of the 60 ways is being polite. How hard is it to be polite? Man, there is so many scenarios and situations I've been in. My mom always used to tell me, I think I've wrote it in my book, please, thank you, and welcome are magical words. Use them to the best of your ability and use them when they count. It's very important. Your health is your life, so keep up with it. I just want to tell everybody a little bit about me. This last year was a very tough year on me. I tore my Achilles. Also, I'm proud to say that I'm insulin free now. I mean, I was taking 2 types of insulins. I was taking Humalog. I was taking like 40 units of that prior to every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then I was taking nightly insulin, which was Lantus. And I was taking, I think, 40 units of that as well, every single day and every single night. So everybody asked me, how'd you get off the insulin, Alvin? I'll tell you, I changed my eating habits. I started eating smarter. I started just, following everything that my doctor told me. I'll just keep it that simple. Going into the VA, I spoke to the doctor one time, and he said, you're rare. You're one of the rare veterans that listen to anything that I put out there. And he's like, you're like the 1%. I was like, what do you mean? It is very hard to get off insulin, Alvin. And I was like, wow. I'm 57 and I got off of it. So I think April of 2024 was the last time I used any insulin. And once again, I'm proud of that. So your health is your life, and keep up with it. Live below your means. All right. Yep. Damn right. Live below your means. Stop living a champagne diet on a beer budget, which is so beneath so many of us. And we just try to keep up with the Joneses or whoever else you're trying to keep up with. And I want to say this, man, I'm not perfect. I'm guilty of that crap too when I was way back in the days, but I got smarter. And you know what? I learned, take care of yourself and live within your means. Get enough sleep at night. Another thing I was guilty of. And I'm going to say this, all these 60 ways were ways that I came up with that I was back in the day a culprit of. And I was like, well, how did you improve your life? And how did you improve just who you are today, Alvin? And I had to figure out the 60 ways that made my life simple again. So I'm sharing them with you all right now. Like I said, get enough sleep. I sleep now. I'm going to tell you, when I was on my job, I could not get maybe in one day, in a 24-hour day, I was barely sleeping for 4 hours. You know how detrimental that was on me? Sleep deprivation. It was just so hard to really stay laser focused when I couldn't get the sleep that I needed, which was really tough on me. It was just really, really tough. Get up 30 minutes early so you don't have to rush around. Oh, man. You know how many times I've told people that, I've even watched people in their normal routines and in their day routines. And if you can just put your keys in one place, or you can just put your wallet here, like right now, I got my wallet right here. Have things in your in your area around you, so you don't have to, be moving around as quickly. Talk it out, shake hands or hug, and move on. Never hold grudges. And I know there's a lot of people out there who hold grudges, who have had held grudges. And like I said, 60 ways of making life simple. I'm guilty of it. I got to be more smarter with that too. So for all those people out there, I'm apologizing right now. 2025, turning over a new leaf. Yeah, that's where we're going. Don't waste your time on jealousy. Don't waste your time on jealousy, man. Oh my God. How many people out there right now know, whether it's a friend, family member, colleague, someone on your job who's jealous of you, or you may be jealous of them. Let it go. Now, life's much better. One thing that I've never wanted to do or ever did was be jealous of someone. And if I seen them do something better than me, I wanted to figure out how they got there. I want to figure out how did you get where you are? You don't mind if I, ask you, or you show me, or, coach me on how to get there? That's all there is. Just be kind enough to ask. You'd be surprised what you'll get. Surround yourself with people who fill your gaps. Positive people, of course, not negative people. Definitely. Organize your living space and working space. One thing I did as a lean consultant, I worked at two companies. I worked at Cadence Aerospace, and I was there for almost 7 years. And then I was at Boeing for close to 5 years before I retired. And that was my job. My job is to organize, 5S various areas, sort, set in order, shine, standardize, and sustain. Make sure you do those things. And I tell you what, your life will be a lot better, definitely. Get rid of stuff you don't use. One thing I like to talk about when I was organizing, I did it in threes. Things that I would touch every day, things that I would touch once a week, and things that I would touch once a month, or hardly ever within that month. And that's how I categorize them. Okay, what am I touching every day? What am I touching once a week? And what am I touching once a month? Or do I even need it in my space? So that's how I got rid of that. Ask someone if you aren't sure. Hey, I even talked a little bit about that. 60 ways of making life simple. Ask someone if you're not sure. It's not that hard. One thing we always have is pride. Stop, saying that, I know everything, because we don't, and I'm guilty of that too. But one thing I've learned through counseling is how to cope with that, and how to coach more instead of say, you're not doing this or you're not doing that. I'll ask a question like, is there a way we both can learn, or is there a way I can teach you that it's better easily received through you? So I always do that. Learn a time-saving trick. One thing that I like to do is organize my kitchen. Yeah, and it saves me so much time when I have everything in my reach, where I'm not walking 10 or 20 steps to get a stir spoon, or I'm not walking 10 or 20 steps to get a cup. I mean, I'm just using that as an example, but you guys can use your imagination into how you can learn time-saving tricks. Don't try to please everyone. That's right. Because you ain't going to try to please everyone. I guarantee you right now, doing this podcast right now, I ain't going to please everyone. And you know what? I don't give a shit. And I don't care. Oh, Sorry about the profanity. That's one thing I said I was not going to do on the podcast. But being a sailor, I can't. I'm trying my best, people. I'm trying my best not to use profanity. That was one of my New Year's resolutions too. Damn it. Oh, there it goes again. Oh my God. Okay. Don't drink alcohol or consume recreational drugs. Okay. Well, all right. All right. Probably half of you damn people already done clicked off as soon as I said that. Don't drink alcohol or consume recreational drugs. Alvin, you know, I'm drunk listening to your podcast right now, man. What the hell going on? You probably are. But you know what, man? Look, if you're drinking, that's great, but drink in moderation. Now, the recreational drug thing, you don't need to be doing that. I mean, straight up. I mean, drugs, they're not cool, man. I mean, they've never been cool. But I got to say it. I never did no drugs. 25 years in the military. I'm proud of it, man. And I never did drugs. Be sure to pay your bills on time. Oh, man. Now I know I lost half of my damn listeners saying that. I'm guilty of it too. But you know what? I was guilty of it in the past. Now I'm on my game. You know, it's all about paying yourself, people. It's all about managing your money. It's all about wants and it's all about needs. That's exactly what it's all about. Your wants and your needs. And then once you get a hold of those and get those intact, you'll be fine. I hope you will be. Okay. Fill up your gas tank on the way home, not in the morning when you're in a hurry. Oh, man, I'm guilty of that too. Man, I had a friend of mine piss me off. I'm home. I'm relaxing. It's winter time. It's about, I don't know, 10 or 11 o'clock at night. This person is just getting off from work and is like, they call me up and they go, hey, I ran out of gas. And I got to get up because I'm a nice friend. You know, I was already in the bed and they didn't have a gas can. I had to buy a gas can. Anyway, bottom line, man, look, just like it say, fill up your gas tank on the way home, not in the morning when you're in a hurry. You don't want to do that. And number one, you're going to be late for work. I'm going to be in these 6 ways of making life simple. I'm going to be telling some of my scenarios. And I mean, I'm just being honest with you, man. What happened? Fill your damn gas tank up early. And don't do it when you're on your way home, man. Use technology to automate tasks. You know, like your, like working. I always use my Microsoft Publisher. Currently, right now, I'm using a program to do this podcast. The Groovy Loop production you see in there, the book that you see over here. I'm able to take the book out. I'm able to put the book back in. I'm using this program called OBS, which is, trust me, hard as hell. I didn't say the F word. I almost did. Hard as hell to do, because there's no book with it. And how I learned to do this podcast is just by hours and hours and hours of figuring out how to install it on your computer and how to run the buttons and how to do the podcast entry photo and how to do the music and all that. It's a lot to it. It's not just like DJing, but you can do it if you really want to try hard. And I know all of you guys out there love to try hard. I know you do. Okay. Handle important 2-minute tasks immediately. I mean, if there's something that you really want to do, don't put it off. You know. What just happened? Oh, yeah. Don't put it off. Yeah. If you definitely got a task that you really need to get accomplished, don't put it off. Okay. Move closer to the place of employment. Had a next door neighbor. I enjoyed seeing her a lot, and all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, I had to move," and I was like, "Okay, well, good on you. I'm happy that you were able to do that." Oh man, I know everybody's gonna tune in or clock off on this one. Don't steal, and that's everything, anything. Look, man, you don't have to steal, okay? Always be honest. Say I love you as often as possible. That's right. I really think it's important to say I love you to your loved ones, to your family, to your friends, to the people that you love. Because, they're, like I shared with you earlier, you never promised today or tomorrow. So be thankful and tell them that you love them. Do one thing at a time and give it all you got. That's right. Do one thing at a time and give it all you got. It's simple enough. I don't even have to say that. Finish one project before you start another one. Be yourself. Like on this podcast right now, I'm just going to be myself. As you see, my microphone fell. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat anything. This is who I am. I'm going to continue to put content out there like this. I really feel as though people need to hear, with all the negative stuff that's going on in the world, they need to hear some positive stuff. They need to hear some really good, positive affirmations from someone who's positive. I mean, I don't care if you judge me. I don't care if you've judged me in the past. I know who I am as a person. I know who I am as a man. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who I become. I'm proud of who God made me in. And I'm just proud that I'm able to be here to share a lot of this content. Since this is 2025, this is something that I'm really going to do. I know no matter what you say or do, people are going to talk about you. And that's in general, people. So, there's no way to get around it. You're just going to have to face it, Learn to cook. That's one thing I learned. Oh man, I learned to cook. I made some peach cobbler the other day. I made some oxtails. I'm going to tell you guys what the next video, maybe not the next video, but as I do these podcasts, I'm going to post some of my meals that I've done. I do it on Facebook a lot. But yeah, I love to cook, man. Make a weekly healthy menu and shop for only the items you need. Yeah, I do that a lot. Like one thing I've done before is with my cooking, I'll go and I'll get, like, let's just say I got a whole bunch of cookbooks in there, and I'll get a cookbook and I'll turn to a page and I'll point to it and I'll say, okay, and I'll take a picture of it and I'll go to one of the grocery stores around here, Safeway, Albertsons, whatever. Not putting a plug out for those guys, but because this stuff is too damn expensive. But a lot of times I go to the commissary and I'll just get those items. Yeah. Buy and cook food in bulk. I do that a lot too, especially when I'm cooking breakfast in the morning. Stay out of other people's drama. Okay, there it is. I know right there, everybody's going to get out of here and, oh, man, Groovy, man, what the hell? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking to a whole bunch of you. I'm talking to a lot of my family members right now. That's why I went 60 ways to make life simple again. Stay out of people's drama. Stop lying on people. Just stay out of their drama. You getting in their drama causes drama for you. So stay out of their drama. I remember writing that down. Oh, yeah. Put them down. Put them in your pocket. Lock them up. I'm talking about credit cards. Buy everything with cash. That's right. That's number 33 here. Maintain your home and others in your belongings. Maintain your home. Make sure you clean your home and make sure you clean all your belongings and stuff like that in your home. Smile often. You know what? It takes 63 muscles in the face to frown and only 13 muscles to smile. Which one you want to do? Okay. Treat everyone with respect and patience. Psychological reciprocity is the word that I like to use. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated. If you want to treat someone with kindness, you have to reciprocate that. That's very important. Apologize when you should. Write things down. Be curious. Explore new ideas and opportunities often. Like this podcast right here. This was an idea. I'm going to be honest. I didn't want to do it. I mean, well, I kind of thought about doing it. I love DJing. I love doing my DJ shows and stuff. But once someone said, man, just give it a try, Lou. Go for it. And man, let me tell you something. When I said I was going to do it, so many friends reached out to me and like, go for it. Do it, man. You'd be surprised, how this thing's going to kick off. Don't be shy to meet new people. That's one thing I did at Boeing. One of my New Year's resolutions, and this is something you guys might want to try. Try to meet 10 people a day. Just walk up to someone. Say, hey, and they may look at you like you crazy, like they did me when I initially started it. I was at Boeing a couple of times, walking passageways or going from one area to another one. And I said, hey, man, my name's Alvin, and my New Year's resolution is to meet 10 people a day. And let me tell you something. I guarantee you, if you say that to them, they're going to smile and they're going to snip back and they're going to extend their hand to you. If you start and say, hey, yeah, my name's Alvin, no matter who it is, I just wanted to meet 10 people a day. I'm getting out of my comfort zone, And it was one of my things that my therapist, my VA therapist, I got a therapist, that talked to me about. It's like, hey, Alvin, suffering from anxiety and depression, you may want to get out of your introvert ways and become an extrovert. Get out there and meet people. Just say hi to them every now and again. And I tell you, it worked, man. It really did. Don't worry too much about what other people think about you. Oh, man, how hard is that? Man, I know it's hard. It was hard for me. It was always how you perceive, how you dress. How is this person seeing me? What are they thinking of me if I say something to them? This person may not like what I'm wearing. Who cares, man? Screw them. You live your life for who you are. And I want to say this right to you. I'm looking into the camera. You live your life for you. Don't let no one dictate how you do things. Don't let no one dictate what makes you happy. Your happy should come from within your heart, and you are the one who's in control of your destiny. You are. So be proud of yourself, and don't let no one dim your light, because you should make your light shine, because you're an amazing person. God put you on this earth for a reason. So remember, you are in control of your destiny. Don't let no one else do that or dictate that. Spend some time with nice people. I mean, that may be a hard one for a lot of people, but it may be making yourself a nice person and then meeting other people. Maybe you just know in your heart that you want to change. There's some ways you want to change. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to really talk too much about it, but I was an awful person back in the days, especially like in 2019, 18, those years where I didn't know what was going on with me for one, but that's when I first determined and figured out that I had diabetes, and it was affecting me. It was affecting me the way I thought. It affected a lot until I kind of got a little hold on it. My blood sugar was almost at like 700. I was losing my eyesight. Thank God I got it back, but I wasn't a great person. So yeah, surround yourself with people that are nice. And I tell you one thing: if any of you guys reach out to me now, ask me any questions. Ask me about how to start a podcast. Ask me questions about DJing. Ask me questions about Lean Six Sigma. I'm willing to bend over backwards to help any of you guys right now, definitely. And that's the honest truth. Don't text and drive. Don't drink and drive. Now, I'm going to say one thing. I'm not going to lie. I've done texting and driving, but I like that feature that the iPhones have right now that it asks you, are you driving? But you could still be driving and hit yes and still text. But one thing I've learned not to do that. And my dog's coming down the stairs here. But don't drink and drive. I'm talking to you. Yep. You're probably drinking right now and you're about to leave your friend's house, your girlfriend's house, or wherever you're going to go. Don't do it. Have someone drive you. Thank you. Don't do it. Save lives out there. Drink water when you're thirsty. Oh, yeah. By the way, I got my Groovy Lou cup here. Yep. I got some merch out there, but I haven't really... I am promoting that, but that's not what this is about right now. The most important thing is bottom line, if you ever want a cup or, cup, I got all kind of things. I got drink cups and everything that I've been trying to get out there, just doing things, T-shirts. Got my book, that. Just reach out to me, man. I mean, I appreciate it. If you don't feel like you need to, don't worry about it, but thank you. But drink more water out there, definitely. Don't eat when you're bored. Don't eat when you're bored. Think about that, man. Oh, God, man. Look, don't. And if you are going to eat something productive, drink water. One thing I've learned, I lost 42 pounds, guys. I was at 256 when I was going through a lot of my problems and stuff. And now I'm anywhere between 209, 206. I fluctuate anywhere between 211 to 206. That's kind of like where I stay right now. But I'm walking. I'm on the treadmill. I have a membership now to the YMCA, which is really good. I love going to the Y. There are a lot of people that, that I'm like, man, where's everybody at? Believe it or not, man, they're at the Y. I ran into 4 or 5 of my friends over there. Like, oh, man. So get a membership. I mean, look, like I said, manage your money. It's pretty expensive. It's close to, I'm not going to give the direct amount of money, how much it costs per membership, but it's close to $100. So if you got it, spend it. Drink water when you're thirsty. I said that one. Don't eat when you're bored. I said that. Exercise every day. That's very important. Concentrate on things you can change in your life. Write some things down. 3 things a day would help you. Maybe you want to set goals for yourself. Like you may want to write 3 goals down on a board, on a vision board. You may have a vision board and just focus on those, Find hard work you actually enjoy doing. Find hard work that you actually enjoy doing. Maybe gardening, maybe writing a book. I mean, I'll tell you right now, writing my book, in the book I'm currently writing right now, I'm 40,000 words into that. It's not easy. It takes dedication. And I'll tell you, I had a writing station here in my room, in my house. I treated it like a job, 8 hours a day, 8 in the morning, 11 o'clock. My bell would go off on my phone, actually on my watch and my phone, both of them. And it would go off and I'd have my lunch from 11, 11:30, I'm back writing again. And my goal was to write 3,000 words a day, which is roughly about 6 to 8 hours. Now, if you are an aggressive, shall I say, or you're aggressive in regards to how you, write your book and, how you're kind of like critiquing it, aggressively critiquing what you're writing, it can take a long time. But concentrate on things you can't change. Find hard, find hard work you actually can do. I talked about that. The harder you work, the luckier you will become. That's one thing I can say. The harder you work, the luckier you will become. And I will say this one too, man. Doing this damn podcast and figuring out this OBS, the harder you work, you will learn everything you need to learn. I figured out how to do my podcast intro in groups. I figured out how to do the podcast intro photos, how to create the music, how to come up with music that is not copywritten, because you can't use any of the music that I DJ. So I'm just saying that. And this leads me into number 52, which is follow your heart. If this is something that you're passionate about or anything that you're passionate about, follow your heart. I can't stress that enough in life, to follow your heart and do things that you really want to do. Set priorities and act accordingly. Set your priorities and act accordingly. Like I talked briefly about those 3 things that you may want to set for yourself. Put them on a vision board. Hey, I want to work out today. Hey, I want to journal today. Hey, I want to clean a spare room today in your house. Things like that will definitely set you apart from a lot of people. Take it slow. Take your life slow. Take anything slow. Take relationships slow. Just take things slow. You don't have to rush. You don't have to rush into anything. You don't have to rush anything that someone wants you to do. You meet someone and they all of a sudden want to, you get my point. Take it slow. You'd be surprised what you'll learn, how slow you take things. However good or bad a situation is, it will change. Yeah, it will change, but it takes effort to make it change, and it takes your effort to make it change. Yeah, like this podcast has had a lot of mistakes, a lot of things you may see in it, but I don't care. I'm starting this and I'm doing it, and I'm going to continue doing it. Why? Because it makes me happy. And how good or bad a situation is, it will change. If it can be good, if it can be bad. If you keep working at it, you will get great at it. You think about this, man. Let's just say you study your job and your profession, what you do, currently what it is, right? And I'll take DJing for me. When I started DJing way back I was DJing way before I joined the military. But I worked at that 1 hour a day. Just 1 hour a day. Did not have any type of coaching or training. I bought my turntables from a pawn shop that were on some floor in Virginia Beach, Virginia, way back in 1989. And I saw these things. They were on a floor. They weren't even on a cabinet or a shelf or anything. And I'm like 20 years old. I go into this pawn shop. I see this guy who owns the pawn shop, and I say, hey, thinking that he was going to tell me those 2 turntables and that realistic mixer from Radio Shack way back in 1989 in Virginia Beach, Virginia, was going to be almost $200 or $300. I just go to the guy and say, hey, man, how much? And they're on the floor. How much are those 2 turntables in that realistic mixer right there? That guy told me, he said, hey, man, you can give me $20 right now and take those 2 turntables and that mixer, take it off my hand. I'm tired of tripping myself over it. And the rest is history. I took those 2 turntables back to Virginia Beach, Virginia. I was stationed in Naval Station Oceana. I hooked those things up in the barracks. I went from the barracks, putting my speaker outside the window of the barracks. As people were walking by, I'm trying to mix and scratch. Couldn't mix and scratch worth of crap, but I figured it out. And I started getting good at it. One of my roommates, his uncle from North Carolina was a DJ. Never met him, but he was telling me, hey, these are things you need to do. So he showed me, I guess his uncle showed him some things. And I learned how to take my, fix my turntables and make them, put the needles with the pennies on them and everything. So I was going to Tower Records buying a lot of my records. This was in Virginia. So I went from putting my speaker outside of the, turning it around so that it can face outside of the, the window as people were walking by. From there, I went to the basketball court. From the basketball court, and I was doing that every Saturday, and then I was like, I'm not. And people got used to it. Hey, man, bring your music out. So I started doing it out there. And then I went from the basketball court to the bass club. I went from the bass club to the radio station. That's how I got started. But I did it 1 hour a day, just devoting that time to it. However good or bad a situation is, it will change. And I just kept getting good at it. Excel at what you do. There it is. That was number 56. I think I probably done went all over the place with these, but you guys are getting a really good understanding about the 60 ways to make life simple again. Mature, but don't grow up too fast. Now, this is for a lot of people out there. And you know what? In certain situations, you may have to mature and grow up pretty fast. I get it. I mean, that's just how life is. I mean, being a kid that I was adopted from a have-not to a have-got. It's in my book where I was going through a lot. My mom was going through a lot. Once she, decided to make a better life for me, I'm 7 years old. So, great uncle and aunt who raised me in Allendale, South Carolina. But let me say this. They made sure that I became a man. 13, I'll tell you, when I was 13, didn't look back even to this day. I bought all my clothes. I bought all my school clothes. That was one thing they instilled in me, man, to make sure you work hard, mature, don't grow up too fast. Sometimes we have to grow up fast. It's just a situation and a scenario you're in, but don't lose the love in your heart. Don't lose the love in your heart when you grow up fast. You're never quite as right as you think you are. I know I may not be right now, but I'm never going to give up. I knew for a fact I wasn't right when I was trying to do this damn podcast, but you know what? I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the accomplishment and putting out this content. Also, I want you all to please like, comment, and subscribe because I'm going to be posting this on YouTube as well. Do something every day, and I'm going to add every day into this that makes you proud. Yeah. Do something every day that makes you proud of who you are, whether it's reading the Bible scripture, reading the word. There is one other thing that I am going to do for my New Year's resolution. And every day I'm going to read my Bible every night. This is something I started 2 nights ago. And I write down a passage based on how I felt that day. And I go in and I'll just read the Bible. Okay, did I feel sad? And I'll look in the Bible and say, okay, let me see something that can give me positive upward motivation to make sure that, once I go to sleep and I lay my head on my pillow, that I've read a positive scripture that I can have resonating in my mind as I fall asleep. So that's something that I really wanted to do to make myself a better person. And lastly, make mistakes, learn from them, laugh about them, and move along. So, yeah, I bounced all over the place. The 60 ways to make life simple again. You guys learned a little bit about me, learned a little bit why I wrote these 60 ways to make life simple again. Hopefully some of these can resonate through you. Again, this is the DJ Groovy Lou podcast. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for allowing me to spend a little bit of time, whether you're cooking, whether you're just listening to me